Dude, you need to be a DJ, dude. You always have those bangers. I think that was perfect for tonight too.
What is up? What is up, Kyber Cave Army?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, sir?
Life is beautiful. I am. Besides coughing, give me a moment. Pardon me, Lord. I am excited. This is going to be a big week. We got a lot of stuff coming up on our calendar. Our calendar's starting to fill up with stuff. So life is good.
Life is amazing.
We have it looks like goodness, I got the coughs. Pardon me.
And a kitty.
This is our co-host for tonight, Mr. Cuddles. Sorry, buddy. I'm doing the show from my house tonight. Again. You want to take this? Sorry.
Oh no, don't give him
Zayo. Sorry. At any rate, yeah. So we've got it looks like we're gonna be working with CapitolaCon. It looks like we may be doing some stuff there. I'm not sure if we're gonna be doing video work for them, or if we're just gonna have a booth, or if we're gonna be doing demonstrations, or what exactly we are doing. And we are talking about Powerhouse coming up in May. So we have a couple of cons we are looking to be at. What is going on, Chris and Tony? Hello, and Twisted Films. I never know who exactly that is at Twisted Films.
No.
But it's good to see you. We love having you here tonight. If you have not subscribed on YouTube or Twitch, please do so and share this out. This would be wonderful. This is going to be a great show tonight. So share this out with all of your lovely friends.
Absolutely.
What's going on in your world, Mr. Ezra? Besides just moving in.
I did just move in. I am actually in Van's house.
I have a new roommate.
Yeah.
Kyber Cave is now from being broadcasted out of my house.
Yes.
Actually, Ezra just moved in this last weekend, and if you know anything about our physical location, our actual storefront is about half an hour from where my house is. Kyber Cave downtown, when we had our storefront, was like 5-10 minutes. It was beautiful. Kyber Cave warehouse.
1 and 3.
It's not so much.
Yeah. Where I used to live, it was like a 5-minute drive. Now it's half an hour.
Right, now you moved out here. Now you moved away from the Kyber Cave, and they're still working there. Yeah, I don't know who this is. Not Twisted Films. Who is Twisted Films? Yeah, you don't know who this is. Is it Batman?
It's Batman.
Or you know what? My favorite thing to say nowadays is, I am Boba Fett. I am Boba Fett. Dude, Tamora Morrison has that line nailed. I am Boba Fett. The new location, we're calling it a storefront. It's not a store in the way we had a store last time especially with the open dojo. Love to have the dojo again. But we are a storefront with a warehouse back. So that's where we're going to be producing our sabers. We're in Vacaville, very close to the 505. So if you're familiar with the college out there, we're really close to kind of the college area out there. And Chris, any of our Saturday nights, every Saturday night, we do a cosplay build show. You are welcome to bring your cosplay material and come build with us. Our theme lately has been weathering. So the last 2 shows we've been weathering things. We've been doing weathering. The first show we did the lightsabers, and the next one we did the Dinjarin helmet, which turned out really nice.
Do I have the photo of your lightsaber still on here? I might.
Ooh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get that wired.
I don't.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait to get that wired. That'll be Hey, Justin, what is going on? Good to
Hello.
see you from Sacramento. Starfleet, the Kraken, the USS Kraken. Is that what it's called? Or USN Kraken?
USS Kraken.
I'm not a Star Trek person.
I'm not either.
So, because we got such a fantastic show, and actually we've got several people online, I'm so excited to see everybody. Let's not keep people waiting. I know we have a fantastic flow tonight, don't we?
Oh, it's the Star Kraken. Sorry,
The
USS Star Kraken.
And I know my cosplay group. I have a cosplay group on Facebook called Kraken, but it has to do with Squid Games because Kraken is a squid. So, at any rate, Ezra.
Yes,
What
sir.
can you tell us about our amazing flow of the show tonight?
Our amazing flow for the show tonight is Sorry, his name is it's Anfernee Suell. Anfernee Suell. I'm not sure how to pronounce his first.
He has been on our show a few times.
Yes, he has. I believe he was the flow artist that did the flow on the train tracks that we were all super impressed with.
Yes, actually, we may not be so good at pronouncing names. We apologize, but he is I'd say an internet sensation. I've seen him in a few different video groups with his flow videos. So this may be someone that you actually recognize and have seen in other groups. We are very fortunate to have him here, and it's all because we have an amazing producer for the flow of the show. Who is it? As
Mr. James Kaiser, aka
Cephalus. I feel like we need like an echo effect right there. Cephalus. Oh, speaking of which, we don't have our DJ music going. At any rate, so let's go ahead and get that fantastic flow of the show, yo.
Speaking of DJ music, I put the one on this.
Hey, did you do the music for that, or was that his music?
I did do the music for that. The original music was by The Weeknd, so that definitely was not allowed.
Yeah, that was good. That was good music matching.
James told me to keep it something funky, and I was like, okay, I know the perfect song for this.
All right, I will like it, dude. Okay. You know, I'm an old man, dude. I have bad eyes. But was he wearing a white gi, or was he wearing a suit?
I'm not entirely sure. It looked like a white gi.
I couldn't tell because at first I thought it was like a white, like, you know, kind of like, you know, a dress up, like you were going to get married tux kind of a thing or something, but in all white. And it just gave me like, I was like, oh my God, dude, I wish I was a flow artist. I have the coolest idea for like a flow video, dude. I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk to somebody with real talent.
He was wearing just a pair of tennis shoes and one of those, like, it's like one of those shirts, but it has a slit down it.
And James says that was a suit.
No, it wasn't. That was not a suit. I'm zoomed in on the video right now. That was not a suit.
We're doing like police investigative analysis of it. Dude, okay, James is watching right now. James is the master. James can make this happen.
James, did I
Follow
do you
me.
proud?
Follow me. Follow my vision. You take the 1980s, there's a song Putting on the Ritz. I think it's by Falco. I don't remember who it was. There's a song called Putting on the Ritz. And then you have a guy in like a top hat and like a black suit with like the long tails. And then do you remember Gene Kelly singing in the rain where he had like the umbrella and then
Yes.
he's like, but imagine if that was like a cane and you're doing like the twirls and stuff to Putting on the Ritz, and then you pull off the sheath and it's actually a lightsaber, and then but you're dressed in like to the song Putting on the Ritz, but you're dressed up in the top hat and everything, and then they're doing the cool spins and rolls off the arms and all the cool things that they do.
That would be amazing.
Dude, I could be a choreographer too.
James, what do you think?
All right, I got one for you. That is my challenge for you, man. I want to see a ballroom style
That is our
version of
challenge
Flow.
for James Kaiser.
We should do Flow challenges.
That would, yes. And then if you complete the challenge, we'll put you on the next Saber Rattle.
No, we got to do something more than that. That's a lot, dude. Like, I mean, who has a tuxedo in their closet?
I could find you a hat and cane lightsabers. I know a guy.
Ooh, and oh yeah, I bet James would have like that funky kind of like top hat, or like what do you call them? Oh man, I can't even think of the name right now. There's a singer, Into the Great Wide Open. What's his name? Famous like singer. At any rate, his hat. Tom Petty. Tom Petty is who I was thinking about. Sorry about that, guys.
I was just about to Google it.
Totally brain farted. All righty. Flow of the show. I want to get once again, thanks Mr. James Kaiser for bringing us that Anfernee. Is that how you pronounce it? Anfernee Suell? Tom Petty. Yep, exactly. Yay! Thank you for the backup, James. I'm no singer, but we got it worked out. We are very fortunate to have the Flow of the show every week brought to us by Mr. James Kaiser. So if you would like to be on that segment, get a hold of him. You can submit your work to him, or send us in the direction of let us know where your stuff is at. I can neither confirm or deny several top hats. You know what? I've seen your videos. I know you own top hats, unless you're stealing them from other people.
Or unless you're selling one to buy another one every week.
Right. The Greg of lightsabers with top hats. Sorry. All right. So is there any other business we need to cover off in? Please make sure to support us. Where?
I was about to say, go to kybercave.com. Down, you see it right over there.
Yay! We
have t-shirts. We have pre-sales on our own lightsaber or on sabers, combat sabers. The saber we have is called the Pure Blood.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Right now. You want to explain more about this? This is your baby.
Yes, this is my first design. So you're gonna see this is an initial rendering. We hope to have 4 different colors, including silver, black, red, and blue. This is the version with the shrouds up toward, and you can choose whether your shrouds are up, down, or not on there at all. This is the stripped down version, and this is the down version. I like the down version, and actually I like it red. This is the one that I'm gonna get personally.
I personally think I'm gonna put one up and then one off.
Oh, that's an idea too. I hadn't really thought about that. Now, in this picture, it's actually a good one to hold on. You can actually see this is a little easier to see, but in the bottom, the on the middle section of the saber, the bottom 2 holes, those are going to be the buttons, and in the top, if you look, there are 4 small holes, and you're going to actually see wiring coming through there. So we're going to have wire on the outsides. You can see the emitters are also cut so that with the shrouds on there, there's going to be a glow effect that happens under there. And you'll be able to get this in either a Shoto or a standard length. And the top version shows what it would look like with the wrap. Now, the basic idea, if you look at the middle one, the basic idea is I really wanted to create a saber that really gave you a lot of room to do your own etching and your own design. So this is really meant for the collector that kind of has their own vision in mind. and this gives you a lot of play space to do that with. We are also very fortunate. This is going to come with an exclusive sound font you can only get from Kyber Cave. We are working with Fours FX, and he is creating us a font called the Pureblood. So it will be exclusive with this saber.
Yes. Can't wait. We also have novelty items. We have chopsticks, keychains, T-shirts. We have a couple sabers for sale on our website. Go ahead and take a look.
Pocket knives.
Ooh,
I just happen to have this one next to me.
most of the sabers are the same price as you would get from the original company, but we don't ship them out 3 months down the line. We ship them out the next day.
That is always a plus or convenience. Yeah, we only have a couple of sabers left on there, but
Hey, Victor.
Victor, hello. What we do have is reduced, and then we also have we have a deep discount on custom saber shop parts. So we have some random various parts on there. So go check out that website kindly. Speaking of sabers, our guest tonight, I'm very excited to talk to you. This is somebody that we've talked to before, Mr. Kyle Voss. The last time we talked to him, man, I don't. My book is at the shop, of course.
It was at like the very beginning of last year. It was like somewhere around like June before. No, actually before that, it was like May or so
of this of 21.
Yeah, it was either 21 or it was late 2020.
Huh. It could be. I thought it was longer than that. This show has been running for a year and a half now. It is amazing.
It's almost 2 years. We're almost at our 2-year anniversary in April.
Oh my god, dude. It's so easy to lose track of time. And we'll be right around our 100th episode once that happens. But this gentleman, he has been on our show before, and at that time, his company was much smaller. It was like a little baby company, little tiny bitty baby company. And speaking of baby, he's had another baby since then. So I'm very eager to catch up with our guest Kyle tonight. Please welcome, with no further ado, Mr. Kyle Voss of Key Sabers.
Guys, the wait is over. I'm so excited to introduce a new soundboard for our replica sabers, Xenopixel. Now you can have the same quality sound and brightness of a Pixel blade at a budget price. Some features include color changing on the fly, as seen here from a press and hold of the activation switch while the saber is on. You can fluctuate between the color spectrum until you find your desired color. Simply press the button to lock your new color. Of course, Xenopixel comes standard with Smooth Swing. Features also include mute mode. While the saber is off, press and hold for one flash, about 1 second, and release to cycle through sound options. Check out part 2 for more features.
Woohoo! Look at you. You could be on like late night infomercials. You could have like a mop that converts into a saber.
Yeah, absolutely.
For all your household needs. How you doing tonight, Kyle?
I'm tired, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, you are a busy man. You're a father of 2, correct?
Father of 2, yeah.
You are a father of 2, and I'm not even talking about your lightsaber companies.
No. Oldest is 2 years old. She's turning 3 at the end of May, and youngest is 8 months old, man.
Ooh,
you don't get much sleep here.
So how has everything been for you? It has been. I really should have been more prepared and checked my book to see when exactly the last time we had talked to you, because I know Key Saber, and I want to make sure, is it Key or Kai Sabers? How do you?
So I kind of let it fly, because my wife calls me by the nickname Kai, so everyone kind of goes by Kai Sabers, but it's really Key Sabers.
Okay.
So, either way.
Okay. I just want to make sure I had that right. So, well, actually, I guess I can't get it wrong either way. So yeah, the last time I talked to you, Key Sabers was kind of I don't want to say that you were, a brand new company. You had been around for a while. People definitely knew who you were. But since then, I know like I want to say like you were the exclusive saber of some fight competition, or things have definitely happened. And I know Key Sabers has been a name on, you've really kind of grown in popularity and I don't want to say fame, but in how many people have heard of you and automatically just recognized your name, even if they don't know who you are.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I mean, I remember, I believe you were one of the first shows that I'd ever done just live, and then from there, a couple other shows picked me up. There's a group that's out there, SMAF, Saber Martial Arts
Okay.
Foundation, and they have a running podcast of an episode, usually about once a month, and they have me on regular. So they actually have me on a regular podcast where I'd say every other month I'll
Uh-huh.
do an episode, and we'll just talk about sabers.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a couple of other groups that will have me on for YouTube shows where we just go through and we just talk about fights, different tournaments that they've had, and we just go over and break them down.
Right.
So it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been crazy.
Well, thank you for the research there, Ezra. It said that you were last
Oh
on
wow,
March
it's
19th.
March.
It's good to have a director. Yeah, so I mean, good. Yeah, we're talking about almost a year since we've had you on last, and a lot has changed. Um, what would you say has been, because I think I cannot remember, but I want to say you had one saber at the time. I think it was more of a fight saber, and that was really what you were known for, was having just a good solid fighting saber. Am I correct?
Yes. So at the time, I had one of my base models, the Persuader, which I have right here, the silver guy,
Right. There we go.
and also I was also producing the Slayer. Now, unfortunately, this one is still on back order. We're having a lot of issues with just being able to um, get this produced just due to COVID,
Hmm.
which is unfortunate. I opened it up to a back order around October. We're hoping to get stock back in around March of this year. So around March, we'll start shipping those out again. But it's just been crazy, like around March of 2021 last year. COVID was still in effect. People were kind of
Right.
starting to slowly open up, and then around June, everything just exploded. I mean, people were so ready to get out and go fight again,
Right.
and
Right. Right. Right.
and a lot of my stock just got bought out. I mean, I was.
That's a good
I mean,
position to
it's
be in.
it's it's a good and it's a bad problem. So,
Right. Right.
but yeah, we at the time I was only doing those two combat sabers, and there was another group that's a little more popular out nowadays, and I noticed that they had a lot of replicas. So I'm like, you know what, this would be great for me to just get another foot into the door with people that want to collect replicas.
Right.
With myself, that I love replica sabers. Like I love the standard Graflex.
Right.
My favorite is Anakin's from Episode 3. No one can doubt me. That is the best Graflex model that's
Right.
out there. So they started to do a couple of replica sabers. Like, this would be a great idea. And they also have like their line of combat sabers too. But I mainly stuck with the replicas because I already have my line of combat sabers.
Mm-hmm.
So that just tripled my business.
Wow.
Because there's just so many people out there that just wanted to be able to get a collectible at a decent price,
Right.
not spend $700-800 to $1,000 just to get something nice. And these are people that just want to get a gift for their kid. They don't want to spend crazy money, but they still want to at least get something decent that can last.
Right.
So yeah, after that, it's just been nuts. And they're a great company to work for. And they have a bunch of new products and different sabers coming out And if you want, I can actually show one of the latest ones that's actually been released. I haven't posted on my site yet, but
Oh, we
this
get like a
is,
sneak peek.
if anyone's a fan of
Ooh,
Palpatine, so this
that's
one's going to be showcasing on my website by the end of this week.
that is gorgeous. Now, this is. Would you say this is more of a wall queen, or could somebody fight with that?
So technically, yes, you can fight with it.
Mm-hmm.
I personally only recommend fighting maybe like a light to medium dueling, like
Mm-hmm.
something along the lines of just sparring. If people want to really get these and invest in these for cosplays, these would be great too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a group out there that I used to work with, which I still support highly, and they do dress up cosplay,
Mm-hmm.
and they go out and they volunteer their time for their local charities. Usually, it's a children's hospital,
Right.
and that just it's phenomenal, the work that they do. So
Right.
this would be great for them because they also do combat
Right.
with
Right.
with their face characters too. So if someone wants to go dress up as Palpatine, this would be a great saber to buy for that.
Right. So let me see. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I understand kind of like your setup, your business model. You have your own design, your own exclusive models that it seems to me are more geared towards the combat class. That's more for people that are actually dueling with this, or don't want to worry about, maybe their really nice cosplay saber getting messed up. There's one that they can beat around, and then you have also another line that you've teamed up with another company, where you have more of the cannon type lightsabers.
Correct. Originally, I was just focused on just building the best combat sabers that are out, the
Right.
most versatile, the most balanced. A saber that if someone wanted to step into this realm of saber combat, and they had some sort of a martial arts background, any sort of technique at all, these types of weapons would be the weapons that you'd kind of more gravitate towards.
Right.
You know,
They feel more
and
natural coming from that type of background.
right, exactly. And this isn't knocking anyone else that comes out with combat sabers, because I'm a fan of
Right.
so many other sabers and a lot of other saber companies. I mean, I'm probably one of the rare breeds that builds his own, designs his own, but also collects everyone else's too,
Right.
because I
Believe
just
me, you're
love
not that
sabers.
rare. I have my
Yeah,
collection too.
there you go. Yeah, what makes this so versatile and so balanced and clean, the blade length actually comes down to right about here.
Oh,
So
wow.
typically blade lengths are about here, and usually
Right.
people want to hold their handles here. My designs hold their handles up top here, mostly
Right.
right towards the emitter. So it's more designed as an actual sword, because
Right.
typical swords you'd want to hold as close to the top as possible. So at that point, you have a solid grip on not only the hilt, but also majority of the blade too, because the blade ends about right here.
Right.
So that's where you get all your balance from. The other great thing about this is you unscrew the pommel, and this is our stunt design, and this is the
Mm.
chassis.
Ooh,
That's
that's
it.
clean.
Pops out. But the great thing about this, see, this is a blue color.
Right.
So I can pop this out and I can swap it out for a different color. Screw this back in, and now I have a completely
Ooh.
different colored saber.
Oh, with just one core.
Yep.
That is
So that's what
fantastic.
makes this such a great weapon too, because heaven forbid something happens, damage, something breaks. Now I do my best to always redesign the the chassis to be as tough as possible,
Right.
to where people that are really going in hard on these sabers, these can last.
Right.
But heaven forbid something happens, someone can message me up and say, hey, listen, something happened in combat, I don't know what, I don't even know if it's my fault, if it just happened.
Right.
I say it's not a problem, send the chassis back to me, I'll send you a brand new one, no
Right.
extra cost.
Fantastic.
So I have a full warranty, a lifetime warranty on the stunt models of these, which is also great a great selling point.
Oh
The
my
benefit
gosh.
of having my key metal weapons is if you want to move up to a different model, this is a lot longer, a little more agile.
Right.
Also has a Suba base too, and this can
I
be
like
taken
that.
off.
You can see that it's slightly beveled inwards too, so that it seems like it'd be a nice
Yeah.
for your hold for your hand.
Yep. So your
Oh,
hand
and it's
mainly
just
wants
on
to
the
fit right
side
in there.
too.
Yep.
Oh, that's even more unique. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So this is more like a traditional katana weapon,
Yeah.
and the pommel here adds just enough weight so that this whole thing is balanced regardless of what blade length you snap in here. Now
Right.
I also sell an extension too, so you can add about 3 inches
Oh.
of blade to this. So this can be a full 16-inch saber.
Oh wow. Okay. So
So
it would be a different emitter piece or something that you would add on.
yeah, so the only thing that happens is this emitter screws
Huh.
off, and then you just pop the extension on, and then you screw this back on.
Okay, so I want to, before we get too far, I personally want to ask a couple of questions, but I could see over in the side, Chris says, Key Sabers kick ass, only saber that doesn't break during my choreography. That's fantastic. That's definitely what you want to hear, right? um,
Absolutely.
so a couple of things. The second saber, what's the second one called? The one that has the Suba?
So this one's called the Slayer. So right now, this one is unfortunately still on back order, but we're hoping to
Right.
get stock back in March. Yep.
But this is your own design as well.
This is my own design too. Yeah.
And does it have the deep socket blade like the other one?
It still does. Yeah. This one has just about a half an inch more. So this is at 4.5 inches deep. So I'm going to take the blade
Ooh,
out here so you can see this is the full depth. So there's that much blade
that
length in
is
there.
so cool. So okay, man, my mind is just being blown right now. I have so many questions that like so because that's not anything that I've seen, I can't think of another company that I know of that has like it seems like that's your standard thing. That's your thing, right? Like a deep socket.
Yeah. So what I found within designing sabers, within making sabers, is you want to have that deep of a blade socket because it adds so much more control to the
Right.
weapon, and it also just helps along with the balance too. Because if you want to hold your sabers up top here, you're holding most of that blade. So
Right.
it's just a tremendous amount of control that you
Well, and
get with these.
I can imagine, and I don't know, and forgive me, I don't know the physics of a sword or a lightsaber or anything, but it seems to me that having that deeper socket, right, that would more balance the weight of your blade because typically your balance point is just slightly past the end of the emitter, but it seems like it would bring your balance point in, and it seems to me too that when I'm taking a hit because so much of that blade is inside of the socket, it seems like a more solid hit because less is like quivering, right? Am I
Exactly.
okay? Oh,
Exactly.
okay,
Yes.
man, you got science all up in here too.
So traditionally, when the most strongest weapons, where they would create a sword, and the actual tang of the weapon, which is just the base of the actual sword, because when
All
you're
right,
when you're creating a sword, you have the actual blade edge, and then you have the rest of the weapon that sits inside the
right,
actual hilt itself, and that's called the tang. Typically, nowadays, if you buy, let's say, like a $40-50 weapon, you buy it off of Amazon. Typically, the tang is maybe about like that much, and the actual
right,
hilt is so much longer.
right.
Um, if you want to get like a nice weapon, like a really professional weapon, they bring that tang all the way out towards the actual pommel end, and then they tie
Oh,
in the pommel with the actual tang of the weapon. So it is one solid blade. It is one solid sword. So
right,
when you're swinging, you're still swinging with the actual blade metal from the
right.
actual sword, not just the wooden handle itself. And that's where you get so much more power. That's where you get all your control from. So I wanted to bring
Oh,
that as close as I could to the saber world.
right,
Unfortunately, you can't really get like a full tang with the blade because you need to have the electronics in there too.
right.
So but I did my best to bring it as close as possible, and that 4-inch mark was just prime territory for an immense amount of control and balance. And like you said too,
Wow.
power that you can get with each and every swing.
That's amazing. Because what's I'm not naming any names. Everybody knows the some of the bigger brands that are out there, but I've never seen that concept. I've seen that concept in people's personal designs, like custom sabers people made, but I've never seen it in like a production model saber. But
Yeah.
it seems to make a lot of sense. The only place where I could see where there would be maybe some confusion for a new saberist would be like blade length, right? So usually, if I'm used to a socket that's only like an inch or an inch and a half, I buy a 34 and it's cut to the size, so that it matches a 34. So
Right,
yeah, I
right,
would
right.
imagine maybe they just need a longer blade if they want it the final blade to be say a 32 or something.
Right. Now, thankfully, for most of the competitions that are out there, most of the tournaments and the actual leagues, all the different groups, let's say TSL, SMAF, TPLA, they all have rule restrictions for how long of an exposed blade length you can have.
Right.
Now, thankfully, so traditional traditional blades that you can buy, let's say off of TCSS, the custom saber shop,
Right.
um, you can usually get them in 40-inch lengths, and that's like the max that you can usually get them at. You
Right.
can
Right. Right.
special order if you wanted to order an actual polycarbonate tube from, let's say, Amazon. You can special order them a lot longer.
Mm.
But for all the competitions, for all the regulations, my blade length for TPLA is actually 36 inches of blade length, because
Hmm.
that gives you 32 inches exposed, which is just at the mark of the maximum length that you
Oh,
could have
okay.
within a full length hilt. Same thing for TSL, is if someone wanted to go with, let's say, the Slayer model, they would actually go with a 39-inch blade exposed.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, a 39-inch blade total, which
Uh-huh.
would give them about a 35-inch blade exposed.
All right.
And that's the maximum length that they can go to. So I'm just at that borderline where if someone wanted to use my sabers within a competition, they could go with the max length 40-inch, 39 inches, and they would just be at that mark of maximum length for the entire saber.
All right.
So they don't have to really go through like special ordering blades just because you have 4 inches sitting inside the hilt.
Right. 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 Yeah, and it seems. Wow, man. I'm just in my head. I'm seeing so many like advantages to that longer shaft. Like it seems like I'd
Yeah.
have more power and control, especially if I have a two-handed grip and I'm using my right hand as kind of, my, uh, you know, I guess the direction where I'm swinging. It seems like I would just get a
Mhm.
lot of power. And man, I'm loving
Well,
it.
the the great thing too, and what you were saying too, within the advantages is, I have a cover tech here, but I usually design these without the cover tech. I only
Mhm.
have it here just so I can hang it up on the wall.
Okay.
Um, but the advantage too is, if you notice, most of the other sabers, you have a button that's on the side. This is all
Right.
clean. There's no button
Oh
anywhere
yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the button is right inside the actual pommel. So
Right.
what that allows you to do is you have a full landscape of how you want to hold this weapon, of
Yeah.
however you want to handle it. And most sabers don't have that advantage because they always have a button that's sitting on the side that you
Right.
always have to manage to either hit, press, or control. And then you're worried about when you're fighting in competitions, if you actually accidentally press that button,
Right.
once your saber's off, you're dead in the water. You can't
Exactly.
fight, because your saber's off. So that was also a great advantage too of designing these, is because you want to have that button on the bottom, so that you never want to buy a saber and then you have to worry about, oh, how am I going to fight with this to adjust my grip.
Right.
You just want to pick up that saber and just hold it and start using it.
Right, right, right. No, I actually own this is one of my favorite combat sabers. I own it. This is J. You were talking about collecting other companies. This is JQ
Mhm.
Sabers out of England, and
Yeah,
it's got the bottom
the button
button.
on the bottom.
And this was actually designed. One of the designers was Faisal out of Silver Sabers in London Fighting School, and he specifically, this is meant to be a brawler. This is not meant to look pretty and hang off
Right.
your. It's definitely way too heavy to hang off your waist. But yeah, I definitely when I do my competitions, I definitely see what you're talking about with the advantage of not needing to think about having that button in the way.
Yeah. Basil's a great guy. I've heard so much about him. He's a
Oh
great
yeah, yeah.
guy and
Oh,
a great
totally fun guy.
great
That guy's like a
inspiration
Yoda.
for the community. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just like a legend.
So now, what would you say would be if somebody? First off, do you sell? You have a website?
I do. So it's just simple. You can go to keysabers.com. Very
Oh,
simple.
and they would be able to find. I mean, I know you said the one is out of stock for right now, but they would be able to find information on that. Plus, would they able to, like you were showing the other models, like the Darth Sidious that you had? Would they be able to
Yes.
find that there as well?
Absolutely. So you can just go to a shop and then Sabers and see them all, or I have them all organized in separate categories. The Persuader and the Slayer, these are all considered a key model.
Mhm,
So you can find these on the website. And you can also find them as a combat saber labeled.
mhm.
The other ones are all labeled as replicas and props. So that's where you get the Sidious, and that's where you get the infamous
Nice.
Sailor Moon
Sailor
saber.
Moon. I love it.
So those are going to be found under replicas and props.
Okay. Okay. Now the chassis system that you had for the key sabers, the slide where you were saying, if somebody has some kind of problem, they can just slide out the chassis or whatever. Is that your design as well?
Mhm. That is my own design. Originally, when I was making sabers with my predecessor at the time, we were only doing typical setups where you usually have the emitter locked in to a
Right.
certain point, and then you can pop out the pommel. Then you always have wires that are exposed, maybe a battery pack at the end. Only recently have you started to see a lot of companies really adopt more of a modular design where you can pop out the whole chassis system.
Right, right, right.
So that's something that I wanted to incorporate. So I have the all-in-one chassis system, which contains the LED, the battery, the switch, and then for the more advanced models, you can also have an actual soundboard in there too.
I was going to ask about that because obviously, these are fighters. They look like they're set up as fighting sabers. But
Yep,
if somebody wanted to cosplay, or if they just want to goof around with their kid in the backyard or whatever, they can get soundboards on both of them,
absolutely.
or just on both of
On
the
both of
sabers.
them,
Oh
both of them. So
wow!
so the benefit here of really going with an all-in-one chassis. So let's say that you wanted to take this to a cosplay arena and you wanted or maybe just like a kids party or something,
Right.
you want to mess around with, you want to have sound light up, do the whole sound effects. So you can get this with the sound chassis, and you can see here everything is solid, it's protected, and you can just slide
Wow!
that out and
Oh my god!
access your soundboard that way. So
Where's
all
the
you'd have to
speaker on
do,
that?
the speaker is actually sitting in right inside here,
Oh
and
my gosh!
there's
That's
sound
so
ports that come up right there. Yeah.
okay. So I just want to back up for a little bit for people that aren't necessarily lightsaber repair people, or who don't have to actually go inside their lightsabers. For those of you that just buy your saber off the market and you just go out and beat them up, that is some incredibly crafty engineering you got going there to be able to have the button at the bottom and yet still have your speaker sound set up, and the slide out thing for the card access point. That just blows my mind, dude. I'm loving all of
Yeah.
this, dude.
I've collected a bunch of sabers. I've seen a bunch of different designs, and the one thing that I wanted was to really give the customer something that was really user friendly,
Right.
that was easy accessible, that was also a lot easier for me to then go ahead and repair if I ever needed to.
Right.
So just to be able to really protect that whole sound card from any possible damage or any exposure to the outside of the hilt at all, just keeping it in there and then just having that whole thing just slide out, and then you can easily just pop that out, pop out the SD card, do whatever configurations that you wanted to do. So the benefit of this is you can have this sit in there and have sound. And then if you wanted to, you go to a competition, you just pop in a little spacer, and then you can pop in a stunt version. And now your Saber is set up for competition. You
Oh
don't
my
have to worry about
gosh.
damaging your soundboard. You don't have to worry about, because the soundboards can get pretty pricey. I mean, this one
Right.
runs for about 270
Right.
versus a stunt chassis, which is only $55. So you can then just hop into a competition, use the same exact Saber, and you're ready to go.
That's fantastic.
So that's the benefit too of really going with the all-in-one chassis system, is you can just interchange for sound or stunt whenever you need to.
Do you have a connector piece so people could do like double-sided sabers or anything?
So that is actually in the works. I've been waiting for a really nice chassis system that I could really work with, and thankfully the partner company that I'm working with, and I've been testing out their chassis systems. They just came out with a double-sided where it lights up on both ends. The only difficulty within doing a coupler system for this
Mhm.
is you can see the buttons on the bottom.
Yeah,
So
right,
you can't
right.
really do something like that. So what I had to do is I had to really say, okay, if someone were to purchase more of a coupler system, I need to keep the price um, relatively low.
Right.
I don't want people breaking the bank, especially if they just want to get a Saber just to bang around with, you know. So I'm going to be releasing a coupler system, but I'm also going to be releasing at the same time a full length double bladed Saber, something that really can't break apart, something that has an immense amount of blade depth, because as you just said, the blade depth gives you so much control, balance, and also gives you a lot of power too.
Right.
The issue that I see with a lot of double bladed sabers is there really isn't that much blade depth. So I'm going to be looking at about 7 inches
Oh,
of blade
wow.
depth for a double bladed saber.
Right.
And it's going to be at like a nice true length. It's also going to be tapered. So it's really going to have like a nice balance of an actual bow staff.
Right, 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 right.
And then at that same time, I'm going to be coming out with a coupler system where all you buy is just the coupler. It will include the chassis, and then all you'll do is just pop out the ends of the pommels.
Right.
Just pop the pommels out, pop out the all-in-one chassis, and then be able to slide that whole coupler system in, and it'll work seamlessly.
Right. Man, I love how easy you're making it for the customers. I often say, because we had a storefront, we had a repair shop. So most of the time when we had problems with repairs, when people were bringing things in, it was after they had already tried to do something themselves and couldn't figure it out. And now they're coming to us, which just makes it like, oh man, wish you would have
It
just
makes it
brought it
so
to
much
us in the
harder.
first place. But I
Exactly,
mean,
exactly.
now it just looks like there's nothing for the customer to do.
That's so that's kind of what I really wanted, because what I had noticed was that if you leave everything exposed and open, you also leave the chance of more wear and tear over time. And then
Right.
you also leave that opportunity for a customer. You're like, well, maybe I can do something with it.
Right, right, right.
And as much as they might be able to do their own repairs, because I've met some people that are brilliant and they can do their own stuff. But at the same time, I wanted to be able to make something cookie cutter, something so easy and simple, so that it cuts the time for me to actually do a repair job. Because all this stuff here, I mean, if you notice in the back of the background, I have a 3D printer.
Right.
So all this stuff just comes 3D printed right in house.
Right.
So it takes me at least 15 minutes to put this together. It's very
Wow.
simple. And
And
most
because
of the
it's
parts,
assembly line, like if something's coming in, it's not like you're having to figure out each Saber's problem. You can just
exactly.
that's genius, man.
So typically when I get a customer, that actually does have one that breaks, I usually just have them ship it back to me. I'll recycle the parts, but I'll ship
Right.
them just a brand new one that I just built in
Right.
the time that it took for it to actually ship over to me. I'll just send it
Right.
back to them the same day. I'll recycle the old parts to get it ready for somebody
Oh
else.
man. I didn't tell you right now, that's exactly like, just so you don't think I was like stealing your idea or anything, but that's exactly we have I don't know if
No,
you heard at the top of the
please.
show.
Take all my
our
ideas.
but that was the thing I kept saying, when I was talking to my CAD artist, I was like, the problem is we in our system, we call it a pod. In the pod is where all the wiring is, but the idea is that the customer can't get in there. So if you have a
Yes.
problem, instead of spending all the money to ship back the entire Saber, you just pop out the pod and just ship us the pod. And because everything's, linear, instead of me, instead of me having to fix your thing and then return it, it's just a matter of getting you another one off the shelf and sending you it out and then fixing this when I have time to get in there.
Yeah. See, the one thing that I always wanted that I never got when I first bought my Saber, because I don't want to name the actual company, but when I had first bought my first combat Saber, I was disappointed. Number one, the customer service.
Right.
The quality control of the wiring was just horrible. I ended up
Right.
having to fix it within the first 3 weeks of getting the Saber.
Oh, wow.
And that's actually what really sparked me into really like looking into doing my own work and actually building my own Sabers. And thankfully I was then partnering up with my predecessor at the time, who taught me a lot of stuff. And from there I just jumped that off to then creating my own company.
Mhm.
And then the rest is all just history. But my original idea was to never have anyone go through the heartache that I had to go through from buying my first Saber.
Right.
Because anyone that just gets into this, there's all this lingo, there's set screws, there's blade depth, there's chassis core, there's all this other
Right.
funny language, Profi board and things of that sort. That
Right.
really scares a lot of people to really it's almost intimidating at times. Because
Yes.
you're just like, I just want to get something, swing it around. It's fun. I don't
Right.
want to be hit with all this lingo.
I'm not trying to learn a new language.
Right, exactly. So I actually pride myself in really, talking one-on-one with a customer. If someone has a question, I get really, really excited to be like, oh wow, like, if this is a brand new customer, I
Right.
want to get them so educated. Because regardless, if they look at my design and they say, you know what, it's really not something that I would like to get, I'll push them in the direction of getting something else from someone else that at least I know is credible, that
Right.
I know will take care of them. Because I never want them to have the same experience. I never want them to buy something, spend $200 and regret it because they could have spent maybe 100 and gotten something a lot better
Right.
quality.
And that's the one thing that I've seen. I've been around. Kyber Cave has been around for 3.5 years, so I'm not an OG by any means. But even in my time, I've seen people who will invest in a smaller company. That somebody puts out, this is our new design, pre-order now, blah blah blah, and then they get burned on it. And I've seen so many comments in like some of these Facebook groups where like, oh yeah, I put down $200 and the guy never did anything, and I'll never buy another lightsaber again. Like I feel like those kind of things really discredit everybody. It makes it harder for you and I to sell a lightsaber.
It does. And especially nowadays when you have companies out there that are just being resellers. They're not actually, getting in stock, testing it. People are just, taking from, let's say, AliExpress,
Right.
and they just create a store, and they don't even they never touch product.
Right.
They're just a courier at that point. And it's disappointing to see because, I've gotten messages from a lot of people that buy Sabers from all these other companies that say, hey, I bought something, it looks similar to what you have on your website. I don't really know, but I can't reach this dude. I can't
Right.
reach this person. It just puts a bad name out there for everyone else that's really trying to do something,
Right.
reasonable, that's actually trying to help out the customer, that's trying to bring forth quality.
Right.
It does put a bad name out there, but thankfully that's why we have Facebook groups. That's why we have shows like this. That's why that's why you guys are doing what you guys do. And there's other shows out there that really prove that there are good, credible companies that are still out there that really care about customer service. That really
Right.
care about serving the customer. Now, I'm a one-man shop. It's just me doing this. So thankfully, a lot of people realize and recognize, hey, if your order goes over a month or so, just message me. I'll let you know, and I'll reassure you that, hey, listen, I'm working on your order.
Right.
It's just, things going on here. I'm a one-man person. I got 2 kids to take care of. So,
Right.
it does take time for a lot of the more custom orders, but most of the basic Sabers, I can have those out within about a week,
Oh,
2
wow.
weeks. Sometimes it may take up to a month depending on how busy I am. But that's always been big for me, is to
Right.
really, really focus and hone in on customer service.
Right. Now I want to ask you this, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to or anything, but do you still maintain like a regular 9 to 5, or is this where your income's derived?
So I actually still do.
Mhm.
Thankfully, due to COVID, um, thankfully and not thankfully, because I've lost a lot of good friends due to COVID. But I'm permanently working from home now, only going into my office maybe once every other week.
Oh, wow.
But I do have a day job, and that day job has turned into me doing it more towards the nighttime, so I can watch my kids during the
Right.
day.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a designer at a Brookhaven National Laboratory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. That's a whole separate b-
that's a whole separate talk. Yeah.
but I mean, and so you've got your regular 9 to 5, which I assume is a 40-hour a week type of job, not a part-time job.
Yep.
You've got your family to take care of. When do you have time to work on lightsabers, my friend? Do you sleep at
You,
all?
I mean, I used to sleep a little bit more before we had kids, but now it's only about maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Uh,
Um, Honestly, it was definitely a challenge. It was really, really, really challenging, especially in the preliminary phase before I came up with the all-in-one chassis system. But as the business grew, as we got more and more partners, as more and more companies really want to say, if you want to get into this hobby, buy a key saber. When that started to happen, I really had to look at how to revamp and reinvest into the company to really make things a lot more streamlined and
right.
easy for me. So that way I can produce a saber within, 20 minutes to a half an hour. I can get an order in now. Granted, things would be going a lot faster if I didn't have a day job, if I didn't
Right.
have my kids. But at the same time, you know, I enjoy doing this hobby so that I can really spend time and really have a lot more free time to really spend with my kids, which I do. You know, I find time here and there to work on sabers. If I'll work on an order in between a nap time. I'll um, I'll spend a weekend the whole day just to work on sabers and particular orders. But this company has been so rewarding just to be able to see, especially a brand new person. I mean, I had a customer. Um, she was diagnosed with cancer. She went through a whole treatment.
Oh, wow.
And this like touches me too because like my father also had cancer too. Thankfully, he's recovered. Um, but she had messaged me and she was like, "Hey, listen, I'm just getting out of recovery, and part of like the routine of trying to keep me fit is to really, get out there and exercise. And one of the best ways was I joined a combat group to
Mhm.
do saber combat." I'm like, that is amazing.
Right,
And
right.
I spent about 6 months designing this beautiful, gorgeous wrapped saber for her. And she was having a little bit of issues working on like the sound. I said, listen, pick pick a date and time. We'll do a FaceTime call. And I got on the video chat with her, showed her exactly what to do, and like the tears from this woman, like just so excited just to like
Right,
have something. And like that's why I'll still do this forever,
right,
just to see
right.
reactions like that.
Right. I tell people, I've had a lot of different jobs in a lot of industries. I was a insurance salesman. I've been a preschool teacher. I've been a merchant marine on oil tankers. I've had a lot of different jobs, but there is nothing in the world. I don't care if you're 4 years old or 94 years old, but if you put a saber into somebody's hand for the first time, and especially if it has sound on there and they hit the button and they hear that iconic, everybody just turns into a 7-year-old again. I don't care how old you are. There's no feeling quite like seeing a person the first time they light up one of these things.
I had the pleasure of meeting. I believe he's the president of the SMAF organization, Alan Venable. I had the pleasure of meeting him, breaking bread with him. He's an awesome, amazing guy. He's always coined the phrase. He'll say, if you hand a saber into a 5-year-old, he'll turn into like a grown man, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you hand a saber into a grown man, he'll turn into a 5-year-old and swing it around. And it's that perfect weapon that no matter what age you are, you'll have fun with it.
Right. Wow, that is so cool. We're gonna have to look that up and find out what the original quote is. That's great, dude. Yeah. So hey, we're getting ready to close up here in a minute. Kai built a saber for a teen who lost his dad, a young lady who could not afford one. He did it all at cost. Man, oh. See, a lot of times people don't know what we do behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I wanted to ask you, as we're getting ready to close out, what does the future hold for you? Is there anything you're looking forward to within Kai Sabers or Key Sabers? Like, is there something new you're working on or new ideas you have? Are you concentrating on your family, or are you going to get out and go to conventions? What does the next year or so look like for you?
So thankfully last year, COVID cleared up a lot. I took my family, brand new baby, and wife and I, we drove down to Virginia, and Saber Light Nights had a tournament out there. And that was so much fun. And that was my first tournament to see live. And they were so welcoming. So they welcomed me back this year coming up. I believe it's going to be around the same time, June or July. So I'm going to be going down there. I've been invited to a bunch of different competitions. It's all just, whether or not they're close proximities.
Right.
And I can attend them. There was going to be one held in Baltimore. I believe that one was postponed due to COVID. And there's,
are you going to become a fighter yourself?
I actually used to teach choreo for about 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm hesitant to get into the ring because a lot of these guys, man, they've been practicing for 5 plus years, and like I designed these, but I know they'll beat my butt. So I've actually been thinking about future plans. I've actually been thinking about hopefully getting a couple of people out here because I'm based out in New York, Long Island, and there is no group for combat out here on the island. There's nothing. There's no TSL, no TPLA. So I want to really bring all those different, combat groups, and I want to really organize something solid here on the island.
Right.
So that's probably going to be happening in the next couple of years. I just want my kids to be a little bit older so I can, still spend some time with them playing in the mud.
Right.
But within a couple of years, I'll probably start that, which I'm really excited about. Definitely going to a lot more competitions, a lot more conventions too. I've been invited to a bunch of conventions with TSL. It's just clearing my schedule, booking a flight, with all this madness going on.
Right.
And I just have a couple more designs coming out. So I have the double-bladed saber, the saber staff, and I have this one that I just released. So this is that the pike. This is the commander. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is that fully length pike. So we had a couple of issues with testing it, and I believe I fixed all those issues. I just want to send it back to my man Tony and have him test it out. See if it's good. If it's good for him, it's good for everyone else because he really,
he's going to put it through its paces.
To its paces, yeah. And I have a Shoto coming out, which I'll show you. So it's going to be based off of this
Oof.
little guy. So
Oh, I
this sits
love
at
it.
6.5 inches, and believe it or not, like this has about 3 inches of blade depth in there.
Wow.
So like this is
I mean,
this is
that's what you would
actually
get on a standard saber.
right, exactly. So I'm going to be recreating this to be a little bit more advanced for what it is, and so I'm looking forward to that one too.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna need. Yeah, that's Sage says I need that. I need that too. I'm actually, I am a fan. I fought with Lightspeed, and I've
Nice.
always loved a curved hilt. This is my own MHS build. Ezra, I don't know if you can pull me up, but with the other, like with Saber Forge and Ultra Sabers, some of the other more popular designs I've seen, they've always been really long, and I felt they were better two-handed sabers, but I wanted a one-handed saber that was curved. So I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of. I at first I thought it was just me. Nobody loves Shotos. I have a great love for Shotos.
If I could combat Shoto all my life, I absolutely would. I really would. They are so much fun, and that's actually like the perfect size for a curved hilt. So I've been thinking about doing curved hilt. I just want to release a couple other ones too before I
Right.
really tackle the curved hilt. But that's like the ideal size. Nothing too long, just
Right.
really short.
Right. For me, this is well, you can two-hand grip on this, but this is perfect for holding either up here or holding at the back. And then some people even like to hold it backwards for a more powerful, aggressive. But once our line gets up and going, I'm going to be working on a short one-handed curved tilt Shoto. Specifically, like I said, this because that thing just floats through the air, cuts through the air like butter. Wonderful. So now let me ask you, if people want to find out more information about you. Oh,
Before
yeah.
we do that, we do actually have a couple questions from people.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get to those.
Um,
Thank you, Ezra.
Steve Jordan asks, "Have you ever thought of doing a lightsaber hilt that looks like a throttle for a biker scout?"
Okay, so that's a Quran hill. For you extended universe fans.
You know, the most that I've been thinking about doing is taking this design and designing something so it has more of like a shroud on it. So that would be something similar to that.
Right. I said Quran
Alright.
Hill. Quran Horn, sorry.
Yeah.
Quran Horn was the one that made the light saber from the biker scout handle. All right. Was there other questions?
There was another one. Let me see if I can find it.
When do you think you're
Not
gonna be working on that Shoto, man? I'm gonna have to check that one out, dude. That bad boy need to be in my collection.
So the Shoto, I've actually, so just the design alone is not going to be too off
Mhm.
from this. The only thing is that I want to be able to recreate the electronics. So this here is just a simple stunt.
Mhm.
It's just one color, but I want to be able to, because obviously I can't have this in this,
Right.
so I wanted to do my own design for the electronics, and I'm going to be using a stunt card that you can swap and virtually have an infinite amount of colors to
Oh,
choose from, but it'll
wow.
still be stunt. So
Uh-huh.
you don't have to worry about a sound card popping out. You don't have to worry about, and it's going to be relatively very cheap too, so that people aren't spending $200 on something, worrying about sound breaking and things of that sort.
All right.
So I'm still working out some kinks with that. But once I have that, then everything should be full steam in production.
Woohoo! I'm
Yeah.
excited for that one.
Alright.
So yeah. So where can? Oh, did you find the other question, Ezra?
well, not really a question, more of a ask, but also a question. Do you have a feel to make a Quinlan Vaz saber?
Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Should ask to make a Quinlan Voss. That's so funny. People are putting in personal requests for sabers.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually not doing a lot with the replicas. I don't have that much of an input with them. I just go with whatever my partner company decides to want to like push out and release. So I can always put in a word, but to be honest, it's going to cost me so much more to produce that line. And I'm more focused. If I'm going to do something myself, I'm more focused to really make it combat worthy. You know,
Right.
Right.
so at most from me, you'll maybe get, let's say, a Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. Maybe from me.
Hey Sage, give us a holler back at Kyber Cave in about 3 months. We'll be able to do custom sabers at Kyber Cave. We're getting our machines worked on this week. So yeah, anything custom, we'll be able to take care of you there. But if you need a good battle saber, Kyle is the person to talk to, and
And
a
then
good replica. I mean, I need to actually. I'm going to go check out your website as soon as we get off, because I'm going to look at this. Because you know what, as a company, that's something that I've been kind of like dealing with as well, trying to figure out. I don't necessarily want to do the Canon sabers and the replica sabers and things like that. Because I don't really want to deal with the mouse at all. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't even want there to be a question. You know what I mean? But B, the way I feel, like if you want an Anakin saber, there's already 4 companies that you can get that from. You know what I mean? What I would only be redoing what other people are already doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Unless it was something maybe super unique like the Quinlan Voss that nobody else is producing, and that's more of a specialty. But I feel the same way. I kind of want to do my own designs.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Quillen Voss is gorgeous, but I'm still so much more focused on creating those combat sabers, and like you were saying, there's so many other great companies that are out there that are able to do a lot of these limited time orders, that are able to really produce a lot of these really unique, let's say, High Republic sabers.
Right.
Sabers from comic books, sabers from other media. And listen, they're great. I don't want to take any of their business. I don't want to replicate their business. I want to just keep doing what I'm doing, focus on them. And if they do something great, I'll just push business towards them and you guys.
Right,
that's
right.
what helps this community grow.
Exactly.
Right.
And Sage, it looks like, is clarifying and saying that he did a Quinlan Voss cosplay using your Slayer saber.
Nice. Okay. Very good.
you need to get a picture of him for that. Put it on your website.
Listen, reach out to me. I'll post on my website. I'll post it all over social media. I used to do that at least once a week, where I was getting so many people flooding me in saying, oh, like I use your saber for this, I use your saber for that. I was doing flow videos, and I used to do like an artist of the week where I'd feature a brand new person every single week.
Right.
I thought it was great because I got to really get in touch with my customer base, and they got a free shout out. So
right. Wonderful. Well, as we're wrapping up here, oh yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember who the flow artist was when you were on last?
No, I don't.
It was the same person.
Oh wow.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's so funny. That was not planned at all. Oh, that's so cool. So where can people, if they need to have if they need to have a key saber in their life, where can people get one for their own? Or
So
do you have like TikToks or other places that you like people to follow you?
Yeah, so you can just go to www.keysabers.com. Very, very simple and easy. Social media, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have TikTok. Same thing, just at Keysabers. Oh, and I also have a YouTube channel too. I'll seldom post stuff on there, but those are more for like tutorials, how-to videos. If someone's confused on how the all-in-one chassis works, I'll just forward them over to my YouTube page and they can check everything out there.
Fantastic. I am so excited. I'm going to be waiting for that Shoto myself. But until then, Kyle, I want to thank you so much. I know you have a million things going on, so the fact that you could squeeze time in for us, I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, this is Kyle Voss with Key Sabers, and make sure to check him out on all the social medias and get yourself a Key Saber and go out and kick some butt.
Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
take it easy.
Take care.
Probably one of the coolest features about Xenopixel, the blade options. There are over 5 different blade options to choose from. This one's Pulse. You can see by its pulsing back and forth.
Rainbow Blade.
This one's a bit of a novelty. I love it. It's great for flow work if you're just trying to show off to your friends or do a cosplay that's really cool. This is a great feature.
Unstable.
Now, for any Sith users, this is going to be the blade style that you want to use.
Fireblade.
Another cool blade option, Fireblade. You can see the blade is actually pulsing from the hilt all the way out towards the tip of the blade.
Steady.
This is your standard. It's a constant flow of color, the brightest blade option available.
Hey,
Woohoo! I need me a key saber in my life, dude.
man, they're pretty. I can't.
They are gorgeous, and those look. I love the idea of the deep socket blade. I've never really thought about that before, but like like the Grogu saber I just got
It's like
from
that much
Shadow
blade
Foil.
room.
Yeah, like the socket is like that. You mean you couldn't? I can't imagine. It's not really a fight saber, anyways. That thing's a pen. But even on my JQ saber, this has a deeper than most other sockets, but not quite that deep. So I am actually now I can see why all these fight associations are really recommending key sabers.
Me too. Like that is.
And I want to
Wow.
thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I see a lot of names on here. They must be all Key fans. He's like a rock star. They just follow him everywhere. But please subscribe to us on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. If you are on Twitch, subscribe to us there. And you can find us on Facebook at Kyber Cave Productions.
Woo.
Are you looking for a specific comment or something? Because I see a
No,
whole
I
bunch.
was just pulling up a bunch of the people.
All right. Well, we have one more. Well, we have technically two more segments. We have our California Comic-Con adventures with Kevin. Yeah, my memory's
Finally.
not bad.
Took you what? How long? 5 months to get it?
Yeah, 5-6 months, something like that. I get it right once in a while by accident.
By accident. Oh my gosh.
We are very fortunate. Just like we are fortunate to have James Kaiser, we have another producer who is unseen on the show. He goes by the name of Kevin Hogan around here, aka we call him the Sith Cats. If you come on our Saturday night shows, cosplay builds at the Kyber Cave, he is often building his own costume with us on Saturday nights. But he is a fantastic producer. He does a segment where he goes to cons every weekend. He goes to different cons around the state of California. He lets us know about the ones that have happened, and he lets us know about ones that are coming up.
Yes.
So with no further ado, roll that film.
Hey there, everyone. This is Kevin Hogan here at the Jackson Rancheria Casino Resort up here in Amador County at Ohana Comic-Con's first ever Ohana Comic-Con in Amador County up here at the county fairgrounds, not far from here, about just a 20-minute drive away. It was a great turnout, over 200 attendees there. Shorty was the local celebrity walking around signing autographs. There was a fun turnout there with some furries walking around there and the fun little fairgrounds there. Looked like a little Old West there. There was a Marty McFly walking around there like a little time traveler. There was the Green Dragon Zord and a few Fallout fans on their cardboard costumes made of armor there. It was a fun little dance going on there during the cosplay competition. Hope you guys enjoy the pictures. Have a great time.
And
Are there no pictures?
There are pictures. I'm putting them up now. I was trying to put up music, but I couldn't find anything.
Oh, the music.
Yeah.
Oh, it does look like an old towny kind of thing, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Ooh, Mau Mau.
This was my favorite thing. This lady over here, the one like doing the little catwalk,
Yeah.
she's the Delta variant.
Oh wow. So she's Loki. She's Loki variant, but she's the Delta
variant.
Wow, she's creative.
Right?
I hope she won.
Then here's him, Marty McFly.
That's so cool.
And then that's all the ones I have.
Oh wow, that's so much fun!
Nope,
Yay!
I have one more.
And I want to say he was somewhere today. I don't know where he's at, but the next week I think we have no, what's next week? VacaCon?
I think VacaCon's next week.
Is that what's next week? Oh man,
I believe
no. I'm sorry. I believe it's Vacaville OhanaCon is what's next weekend.
Yes.
Right, and then VacaCon is a whole separate con that comes on like later than that.
Got it.
So we're getting ready to come to the end of the show. I just wanted to I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I want to remind you, if you have not subscribed on YouTube or Twitch or follow us on Facebook, please do. That's Kyber Cave or Kyber Cave Productions. Please, we're trying to grow our YouTube page and let the world know about all of these fantastic people that we interview every week. We do Saber Rattle. This show is called Kyber Cave Presents Saber Rattle. We do it every Sunday at 7 p.m. But we have another show that recently started. This will be show number 4 coming up?
Yep, show 4.
Show 4. That show is called Kyber Cave After Dark. And that is every...
Huh? Right.
What? Oh, Kyber Cave After Dark. That is every Friday at 9 p.m. And then on Saturdays at 7 p.m. we do cosplay builds at the Kyber Cave featuring Dark Side Sabers. So we have 3 shows a week now, and then Ezra has a show that's going to be coming. I don't know, when are you planning on starting that?
Soon. Very, very soon.
And
they don't have an exact...
What is that one going to be called?
Kyber Cave Gaming.
Kyber Cave Gaming. With Ezra. Yeah, so that will be Ezra doing a gaming channel. And Dawn has been talking about doing model kit builds. And I know that's something Greg Veery does as well. So that could we could end up having shows 5 nights a week.
Or
that
possibly
is so
more. Gaming doesn't
so
just have to
insane.
be one day.
Oh, God, we need lives. We don't do anything. We just sit in our house and work in the Kyber game. Please, somebody unchain us. All right. So we are going to go ahead and close out. Is there anything else, Ezra?
Just our TikToks.
Just our TikToks. Make sure to check us out at kybercave.com. Get yourself a t-shirt or a keychain or lots of fun stuff there. And go ahead and roll with that outro. Our TikTok, or what are these? Talk of the Towns.
Talk of the Towns. All right. Bye, everyone.
See you next
week. Bye.
Tell me how you know your boyfriend won't cheat on you without telling me how you know your boyfriend won't cheat.
Wait, we got this.
Eric. I love that.
Okay, we'll show you. We call this game Scarif. First, grab a table. Grab your light side and dark side figures. Each player picks 10. Once you have 10, place them strategically anywhere on your board. Grab your walker and place it at the end of the table behind your figures. This is what you'll be using to shoot down your opponent's players. Load up your walker. Each player takes 1 shot per turn. Red ammo equals 1 point and green ammo equals 2 points if it's a successful hit. If you miss while shooting with the green ammo, your opponent gets to knock down one of your players. First person to knock down all of their opponent's players wins. Just remember to have fun and may the force be with you.